I want to pause for a second while we do the Tmolding for DK Jr. So with Nintendo cabs, there's actually two, well, actually I think there's like 3 styles, but from what I'm talking about, I think there's only 2 styles. In regards to the Tmolding slot, and if you look, let's look over here, it'll probably be easier. And if I can focus, you see this groove right here? And you see how it's off-centered from this chunk of particle board versus this chunk, like this chunk is thicker than this one. Well, that offset groove actually makes the Tmolding offset as well. So you actually have a little bit hanging over and it looks kind of goofy. To get around that extra lip, and you can buy offset Tmolding. It's a little bit more expensive and a little bit harder to track down. There's a couple sites that sell it. Or what you could do is get regular 3/4 Tmolding, 3/4 inch Tmolding, have it hang over a little bit, see that lip, and then just trim off that extra material. And to make our job and lives easier, luckily, man has invented a tool to do just that. And that tool is this thing. It's called a quad trimmer. This is by Fast Cap. I got it on Amazon for, I think it's like 20 bucks, Amazon Prime. And all it does is, see how it has these springs that let you adjust the width. And essentially it just has 2 razor blades on either side that as you run across the side of the cabinet with the Tmolding, it just trims off the excess. So, pretty simple tool. All right, so what I'm gonna do is run this guy, oh man, over this guy. And we're gonna use the cabinet kind of as our template. So what you do, you need a flat area to do it, and you're not gonna wanna do these curves. Just set up top. You don't need to hammer it in. Use the top as your template, shave it off as much as you can. I think that's like 2 feet. Lift it, move it, continue shaving, and we're gonna have our own spool about 20 feet, I think is what I got, of custom length Tmolding, custom width Tmolding. So all you do is you put this up here, and you don't want to squeeze too hard or you're gonna scuff the side of your paint that we just spent our lives doing. And there it goes. There you have it. It just shaves off a little bit. That little bit is what's annoying and makes it not perfect. And if it doesn't cut the way you want, just run across a couple times. It's not gonna mess anything up. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing that to this and see if I can get the Tmolding on DK Jr. guys, I wanted to pause because we hit a milestone in our restoration of the Nintendo cabs. We got most of the artwork. I'm actually still waiting on artwork for DK3 and the Nintendo Versus cab. But DK Jr., Mario Brothers, and Popeye, which is hiding around the corner, has art on it now. But the milestone we completed was we're actually done with Mario Brothers. So we got paint on. You saw the paint. We got the new Tmolding tacked on. The side art actually came out really well. I was actually impressed with it, considering it wasn't that expensive. I got this on eBay. I think it was like 35 bucks. And then, like, if you go, some sites will actually charge you like 70 and up. So I was it was a gamble, because usually you get what you pay for. But it's pretty nice. It doesn't have a lot of the higher quality ones does have a like a laminate over top of this to prevent like scratching, like this control panel overlay. Like if you feel it's got a little bit of texture. I think this is actually the ink on top of this decal here. So it's prone to scuffs, and let me see if I can yeah, you see that little scrape there? That shouldn't have happened if it was laminated. So, but I mean, this is all indoor use. This isn't, and it's just going in my garage. But if I was gonna put this on location somewhere, and you don't want kids like jacking up your artwork and carving their initials into it, and just, you know, day-to-day use and messing with it. But it's, yeah, so my point being, I'm rambling, but it's fine for the home arcade. So don't worry too much about the stuff on eBay. I mean, check your reviews. There are some shady people out there that will just use a crappy inkjet and comes out like a fuzzy mess. But the artwork actually came out really well. I can't remember who I got this from. Anyway, I'll think about it. So we got the artwork on. We got the hardware I painted. Control panel overlay is on and wired up. I didn't get the original buttons that I was bummed about on Donkey Kong, because just for the simple fact that they're like 6 times more expensive than these buttons. I think I paid $1.25 for each of these buttons. If you get the original leaf type, it's actually a little bit smaller than a regular leaf switch. Those I think are like $5 a piece, and that doesn't even include the switch or the mounting portion for the button. So this was the button, the button nut, and the micro switch for like $1.25, $1.50. I got these from Twisted Quarter. They match the same color, and it's fine. Original joysticks are in, and then this control panel that I got on eBay as well. I think this was also like 35 bucks. Yeah, if you look around, you can get pretty decent deals on artwork. And this is laminated. This is actually really good quality. It took me a minute to line up the holes because it wasn't already pre-cut, which is good and bad. It's good if you don't know. Well, it's good if you're using a weird size control panel, like if you're not using the original. It'll always fit because you're making your own holes, essentially. But it kind of sucks too when you don't have a guide to go against. So what I did, I just took one of the brick lines up top, used that as my vantage point, I guess. Is that the right? Whatever. Use that for the bend of the top of it, and then just tried my best to center to this line here. And it looked like it lined up pretty well. It doesn't, I don't know if this is just from the original art, of the button being a little bit off centered from this label and this one, because this is pretty much center, and actually that's a little bit off. That is pretty much centered, and that's centered. So I don't know. But if you look here, if this line actually goes right up the middle to the Nintendo logo, so I think I did a pretty good job of centering. Maybe it's just how the art was made. I don't know. And then that side, same as the other one. Original coin door. I put some locks. I got these from Twisted Quarter too. These are the standard locks, the cheap economy ones. I always get. This key will actually work on all my games in the garage, so that's convenient. So if some kids come around and steal my keys, I can just pull one off of one of my other games and it should work fine. That's some like glue I gotta get off. This is just black spray paint, same as the wood and the coin door. Semi-gloss. So yeah, this is working. We still got to do the rest of these. I still haven't got the coin doors painted. I need to friggin' do that. If I paint the coin doors up, actually a lot of these we done. That's all that I'm pretty much waiting on. We got the these decal, or the, you want to call them insert coin decals. That's new artwork for the DK Junior. Not the control panel overlay, but this instruction card and this instruction card, which tells you how to play. Side art is complete. Got that from the same guy I got Mario Brothers from. Tmolding is on, and we had to shave it off with that tool I showed you. Donkey Kong artwork is on. Same thing with this one. This is instruction card is new. The other one was all faded and had water damage. This decal is new. The other one was peeling, and I think it was only like a quarter of it left. And fun little fact: Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. both have these instruction cards. They stopped making them after Donkey Kong Jr. So there's actually no instruction card decal for Donkey Kong 3 or Popeye or Versus. Well, I take that back for Versus. Versus dual system had like a square thing that gave you the instruction of whatever game was playing in it. But it wasn't the same as this right here. There is, actually I want to say, John's Arcade, I think he made a couple custom ones for DK3 and Popeye. I might get, I don't know. They sell them at thisoldgame.com. But I might just leave it, save 15 bucks or whatever it is to get those printed. And then Popeye, everything's in place. Looks like we still gotta rebuild a lot of this stuff. That I might just make its own video, Popeye Restore. So yeah, I wanna show you guys the progress we made on Mario Brothers before I wheel it in place and we hide all this work that we did on the sides. But I want to move it in place just so we have more room to work with. You can see I picked up some more progress. We got another pole position that I'm working on, and a cocktail game over there that we will talk about in another video. And oh yeah, some projects back there too. So we got some stuff to talk about. Okay, let me wheel this in place and let's see if I can't finish painting up these coin doors. Alright guys, I think this is going to be the end of the part 2 video. We got the coin doors on finally after I painted them. You know, let me zoom in. I'll show you why it took so long for these coin doors to get in. So you see these carriage bolts right here? And then this piece of plywood that the coin wooden box door, whatever, the coin collector sits on? That gets in your way when you're trying to undo and tighten these, and then messing with all the wire to the coin bag is just a pain. So I kept putting it off. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4 coin doors painted. I got the coin mechs. I just did a couple coats of metallic, actually here it is right here, metallic aluminum Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover, and followed up with, what is this? Hammered finish for plastic. It's so this gives you like a little, you can't really see it, kind of like a marbled, metalled, hammered finish to it. So actually some of them, now what did I do? Did I do this first and this? I did it in layers. I did the dark first and then the light over top of that, just to give it a little bit more metal look to it, but I don't know, I think it turned out pretty good. And they're on there, so it works. Still gotta paint the coin door for Popeye. That's still in pieces. We're just gonna, I think, dedicate a whole session just to working on Popeye, but all the paint and artwork is done on this guy, the Tmolding. I just need to assemble it and put it all together. And then Donkey Kong Jr. I just put in a fresh, actually it's the old bulb, a fresh starter for the fluorescent light. We got the new bezel card, the new Instrction decal, fresh locks on the coin doors, painted the carriage bolts too to match the coin doors. I think these are actually black, typically. I could be wrong. And then we got the side art on that guy. Same thing with Donkey Kong, fresh. Actually, this one got a new bulb and a new starter. New decal, new instruction card. These buttons actually were the original wrong buttons. So you see here, these are actually original, although they're ugly as hell right now because it looks like a former cigarette smoker owned it, or more likely it was in a bar somewhere and people rest their cigarettes on here and it melts away at the buttons. This is actually a reproduction Nintendo button, and let me tell you the reason why I didn't do reproduction on all of them. It's the simple fact that this button right here costs maybe $1.50. This button here alone, no switch or anything, costs about $4.50. So, and then put the leaf switch on top of that, I think that's another $2. So it was more than double just to get those types of buttons versus these. So I think I'm just gonna live with this for now. These are old Nintendo buttons, these are original Nintendo buttons. So I got a whole bag of them, these blue and orange buttons from Twisted Quarter. And eventually I might switch them all out just so at least my games match. But anyway. What else about Donkey Kong? Oh yeah. If you, well, ignore that jitter. I gotta do a cap kit and replace the flyback on it. But this actually has a secret game. If you hold 1 and 2 player down, it'll ask if we want to play D2K, which is not an official sequel, but so we have Donkey Kong came out, followed by Donkey Kong Jr. Let's see, Donkey Kong in 81, Donkey Kong Jr. in 82, and I want to say 83 for, yep, 83 for Donkey Kong 3. And the dynamics between each game are like completely different. But Donkey Kong actually never got a direct sequel. It just went to Donkey Kong Jr. where you are the junior Donkey Kong trying to rescue Donkey Kong from Mario, who stole him, kidnapped. I guess he's a poacher? I don't know. Or he's just getting revenge from the stealing Pauline. Anyway, so somebody went ahead and made their own custom ROMs, and it's pretty wild. I think is it randomized? Because this definitely isn't the same level I played a few minutes ago when I just popped this in. So it's definitely a lot more difficult. Oh no, it's not. That intro is just different than what I was looking at. So you can see right away it looks completely different. And I actually haven't gotten past this level, so maybe we'll do a video on the D2K, because I don't really know a whole lot about it. But another cool thing about it, it's got a free play option. We'll switch it back to Donkey Kong. So we got an actual free play. You don't have to do any hacks or anything to the wiring. And it also saves your high score. So if I actually get a high score, I usually suck at this game, I can store my game and then, or store my score, and then if I shut the game off and start it back up, it actually retains it on a, what is that, an NV RAM, non-volatile RAM? Anyway, the original one, if I made high score, I'd have to write it down because as soon as you turn it off, it just wipes it clean. Oh, allergies. I'm actually trying to straighten up the garage too. I'm kicking up dust. Making my nose run, and we got new side art, new paint, new Tmolding. Same thing, new decals and stickers. So DK I think is done, other than that flyback issue bugging me. DK3, which is not DK3, it's a blurry, that actually is Crazy Kong, you just can't see it. This monitor really needs work. I think I'm going to do a cap kit and a flyback replacement on this before I actually do Donkey Kong. And it sucks because I hate doing those things. new key lock. Control panel, actually this is built into the control panel overlay, so we didn't have to do any decals here. And I don't have the side art yet for this because the guy that I got the rest of my side art from never wrote me back. I kept pinging him, saying, send him the artwork files, he gave me a thumbs up that he could do it, and then we lost contact. Same thing with the Versus. Another thing with Versus, I get too excited, is we replaced RBI Baseball with Excite Bike, which I think is a lot more fun game. This is just a better game all around. Same thing, no decals for this, other than insert coin, which all the cabs have now. And then I noticed, I don't know why I'd never noticed this, but I think I've had this cabinet for 3 years now. The coin mechs are not original. Look how long this thing is. And if you open it up, you can see here is the hole where it should be, and then right here it gets a little jagged, like some, and then here's bent up, like just beat up metal. My guess is an operator needed to replace the coin mech, didn't have the correct roll down mech that usually comes on these things, like this guy. So yeah, these laying around, I was like, you know what, screw it, give me my Dremel, my power tools, we're gonna cut this thing out and just slap these in, and then get it back on route so they can make some money. So yeah, so Excite Bike, DK3 technically aren't done. We got some more work, but it's a good stopping point because everything is painted and looks like it's complete at least. And really, I just need to get these out of the middle of my floor. I got more projects I need to work on. I'm helping out a couple people with their projects, and it's just a mess right now. You can see all my tools and crap just laying around. So anyway, that's the row for now, and I guess we'll pick up at some point so we can finish Popeye and Nintendo Versus and DK3. But anyway, I'm rambling and repeating myself, so I'm gonna shut this stuff off and go to bed because it's late, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.